back to a new episode of Learn Italian with Songs. This episode will be a soft-spoken episode because I'm having issues with my throat, so I really hope you will be able to hear me. Technically, you should be able to because OBS is telling me that the volume is okay and I am basically putting the microphone in my mouth, so I hope this is going to solve the issue. That said, as usual, yeah, pretty much ASMR episode. As usual, friendly reminder, yesterday, despite being the 1st of April, was not an April Fool, because starting yesterday in the section gathering the posts of the channel, you can find daily quizzes concerning Italian idiomatic expressions with trivias once you answer the quiz. So, very important, remember to share them with your friends because the bad part of YouTube posts is that it's very hard for people to see them because they are in a separate page and basically you only see them on the phone, so make them share them around. That said, let's start talking about Echo by Joan Thiele. I'm never I don't know why I always forget the name of this singer. And as usual, we start from the title. The translation of the title is quite simple because echo, it is echo just like in English. It comes from an ancient Greek word that sound exactly the same, but of course each language has its own way to write this word. In Italian, it is E-C-O or E-C-O. I don't think I have to explain what an echo is, I guess. Well, I'm going to explain it nonetheless. It is that phenomenon according to which the sound bounces back to you in a certain condition. Usually is very common like in mountains or in rooms where you have no furniture or things able to absorb the sound. So the sound usually of your voice bounces back. Is quite important because of the meaning of the song and because we'll see the echo is mentioned in the lyrics. So, talking about the meaning of the song, we have, as usual, like I gathered as usual, a statement by the artist and I translated it in English. So, what did the artist said? Echo is a song about the importance of facing your fears and always defending your ideas. A very important song for me, born about a year ago. The song, not the artist. It is one of those pieces that are born by themselves. I started writing it crying, and it was emotionally very strong. If it were an image, it could be a beautiful electric guitar. So this is one of those songs that to fully appreciate them, you have to relate to them, in my opinion. So, of course, how you perceive this song, it is strongly related to how can I say, how much you relate. So, that said, let's dive into the lyrics, starting from the first verse, from verse 1. E ti giuro, non ho più bisogno di fingere. And I swear to you, I don't need to pretend anymore. Questa mia vita è il mio viaggio ed io, this life of mine is my journey and I traccio da sola le scelte che faccio. Draw myself the choices that I make. Ma se ci sei tu, but if you are here or if you are there, ho più coraggio. I have more courage. E ricordo quando eri bambino masculine. And I remember when you were a child. E restavamo ore abbracciati nel letto and we stayed for hours hugging in bed per sentirci grandi e la musica poi ci baciava. To feel grown up, and then the music kissed us. Per farci sentire un po' meno soli. To make us feel a little less alone. A couple of notes as usual. E ti giuro, and I swear, comes back throughout the lyrics. Because we have this very same start both at the beginning of verse 1 and verse 2. And there is another thing repeating, which is ma ci sei tu. Because these two elements are present both in verse 1 and verse 2, kinda providing a similar structure of the verse. And then we have the pre-chorus. Forse sarà l'insicurezza. Maybe it's insecurity. Sarà che, per noi, la famiglia non è mai la stessa. Maybe it's that for us, the family is never the same. Sarà che siamo figli dell'indifferenza. Maybe it's that we are children of indifference. Cresciuti da una donna più pura della bellezza. Raised by a woman purer than beauty. Again, a couple of notes. Forse sarà che it is a specific tense in Italian, which is the future simple. Now, why am I pointing this out? Because this normally the future simple, it is used to express the idea that something is going to happen in the future. However, in this case, we have a very specific usage of the future, because in this case, the action, what happens, is not something that is going to happen in the future, but it's something that is probable or that already happened. Why? Because this is what is called in Italian futuro epistemico, epistemic future. The epistemic future, or futuro epistemico in Italian, is the use of the futuro semplice or future simple to express a conjecture or hypothesis about the present or the future, rather than an event that will actually happen in the future time. So, here we use the future, but it is a bit like using a subjunctive. I explained several times in the past that in Italian the subjunctive has a very specific role, which is to express uncertainty. In this case, the futuro epistemico has a very similar role, okay? And in fact, that's why I translated it in English, maybe it's that, sarà che. Despite the fact that the literal translation should be it will be that. But I translated maybe it is because in this case the future simple actually express uncertainty or an hypothesis. Then we have the chorus. E se potessi dirti che, and here we have the subjunctive, if I could tell you that, qui la paura non ha età. Here fear has no age. Tu fissala forte dentro agli occhi. You stare it hard into her eyes. Because, as you know, in Italian everything has a gender, either masculine or feminine, and the fear, la paura, is feminine. Spara al centro, qui la notte non ci fotte. Shoot to the center, here the night doesn't fuck us. Bang, bang, woo. Bang, bang is an onomatopoeia that is used in several languages, Italian as well, which is the sound of a gun shooting. And this part probably hints a bit, or at least creates a connection towards the melody, because the melody of the song and a bit the vibe is very far west sort of situation. Just like the bullseye, so like the typical shot of the best snipers, let's say. And then we have the second verse. E ti giuro, se il tempo è una linea che cambia, and I swear to you, if time is a line that changes, sarò la tua eco e poi mai la distanza. I will be your echo and then never the distance, che corre tra il mondo e le cose, that runs between the world and things. Ma se ci sei tu, but if you are there, sì, resto calma. Yes, I stay, I remain calm. As I promised, ti giuro e ti giuro, ma ci sei tu, are present both in the second verse and in the first one. And then we have the pre-chorus, or a little note as well. As I promised, we have specifically mentioned the title of the song, Echo. Now, here in the song we find many images, poetic images, that are not that easy to analyze or explain, probably because it was also in the intent of the artist to leave some space to the imagination of the person who's listening to the song, right? And so in this case we have the idea of the echo opposed to the distance. My interpretation is that the difference between these two concepts is that the echo comes back, and while the distance is what is far away from you, right? Another little trivia: echo in Italian is a feminine word. Usually the rule is that if a word in Italian ends with O, it is masculine. However, eco is an exception. Why? And in fact, it is very important when we use the indeterminative article un to put the apostrophe, because it is feminine. And in fact, the artist says sarò la tua eco, with, by the way, the future simple used as it should, so normally. So why is eco feminine despite the rule? Because of the origin of the word. Now, I am not going to give you etymologically, like in a philological way, the Indo-European root of eco. I am going to give you the idea behind the word. So, the word eco comes from a myth, an ancient Greek myth. We said that eco is an ancient Greek word, and it is a myth where there is a girl who's called Echo. Now, there are several variants of this myth, so I'm just going to give you the gist of the meaning. The reason why Echo is feminine is because Echo in the story is a nymph or a girl, okay? It is always a female character, okay? So one of the version is that Echo falls in love with Narcissus, if I remember correctly, and then since Narcissus falls in love with himself, she's broken-hearted because she got rejected despite her passion and her love. And so she goes to a mountain, okay? And she starts talking until she fades away and only her voice remains. And that's why if you go into the mountains and you speak, there is a voice coming back to you, because the idea is that it is the only thing left of this nymph. That's why eco in Italian is a feminine word despite the rule. Then we have the pre-chorus. Forse sarà l'insicurezza, maybe it's insecurity. Sarà che per noi la famiglia non è mai la stessa. Maybe it's that for us the family is never the same. Sarà che siamo figli dell'indifferenza. Maybe it's that we are children of indifference, cresciuti da una donna più pura della bellezza, raised by a woman purer than beauty. Now, what the artist wants to say here, I'm not sure. I tried to check some articles about her, but she doesn't mention specific conflicts with her parents, so it can also be that she's telling the story of someone else she knows, because usually maybe it's that for us the family is never the same, makes people think that it is a reference to someone in foster care or without guardian parents, whatever, so they have always to change the family. I don't know, there is a possible option otherwise. I don't know. And also maybe it's that we are children of indifference. Also all those situations where children are born by parents who don't really care about them because they work, because they didn't want to be parents, like several options, and then raised by a woman purer than beauty. Now, probably this woman is a personification of a concept, because as I said several times, in Italian words have always a gender, so also concepts like the beauty, the indifference, the insecurity, they all have a gender. In this case, it is curious to notice that in the pre-chorus, all the concepts mentioned are feminine, because l'insicurezza, la insicurezza, l'indifferenza, la indifferenza, la bellezza are all feminine. So this woman might be a personification of one or of those, or maybe something else. Then we have a variation of the chorus, because let's remember that the chorus was this part here. Now we have the same part repeated but without the onomatopoeia and a section in addition. Sorry. E se potessi dirti che, and if I could tell you that, qui la paura non ha età, here fear has no age, tu fissala forte dentro agli occhi, you stare it hard into her eyes, spara al centro, qui la notte non ci fotte, shoot to the center, here the night doesn't fuck us. And then we have the new section. E se capissi perché contano sempre più le idee, so again, e se, same start. And if you understood why ideas count always more, literally, meaning-wise, are always more important, rimangono negli occhi della gente, they stay in the eyes of people, hanno più potere della rabbia, they have more power than rage, tu difendile, you defend them. And then we have a bridge leading us towards the outro, which is none other than a variation of the chorus. E quando ti senti più fragile, and when you feel more fragile, cambia la pelle. Here, this sentence in Italian can be translated in two ways, which are both correct technically, which is change the skin, so like you change the skin, or the skin changes, because there is the inversion of the subject and the verb. Equilibrio instabile, unstable balance, fidati, è meglio sbagliare che restare immobile. Trust me, it's better to make a mistake than to remain still. And then we have the outro, which is a variation of the chorus. We start, as usual, with e se potessi dirti che, and if I could tell you that, qui la paura non ha età, here fear has no age. Then there is an instrumental bridge. Part of the usual first section of the chorus is cut, and we have the second part of the chorus. E se capissi perché contano sempre più le idee, and if you understood why ideas are always more important, rimangono negli occhi della gente, they stay in the eyes of the people, hanno più potere della rabbia, they have more power than rage, tu difendile, you defend them, bang bang whoa. And the song ends with this onomatopoeia. Now, I need to remove my scarf because I'm choking. Okay. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. As usual, I promise I have for you our daily dose of breakup and nostalgia, but not today. In fact, today we start the week with something a little bit more different. We can put it like that. I have a vague idea that I'm going to end up taking antibiotics at this point. Anyway, here the song has touches several topics. Of course, we have the ones clearly expressed, so defend your ideas. They are more valuable than simple rage. Defend your ideas, but there is also a description of a life that probably is related to the artist or people close to her. I don't know, because it is very hard to find information concerning this artist since she is quite young and still emerging. In fact, it was her first time at Sanremo Music Festival, and yes, Gaso, I do agree, and Alex, with you as well, because it ended up it ranked 20th out of 29, but the level of the lyrics is very high. Like, I really appreciate the lyrics. I really appreciate the content, the topics of the lyrics, because again, it's not simple nostalgia. It is a type of melody that I wasn't expecting, because it is very Western, as in far Westernish, okay? Which is something I wasn't expecting on Sanremo, so appreciated. It's always nice to see something a bit different. And yeah. I have to be very careful drinking, because I got meds with lidocaine, which is an anesthetic, and so I have to be very careful to not choke, because the muscles of my throat are not working 100% due to the anesthetic, and I took it like at 1 hour ago, more than 1 hour ago actually. So I'm going to put on my gossip sunglasses, the sun gopsless, but like, actually there's no much gossip, because she came, she did her performances, she was good. I can't really find me. Probably should have looked for interviews in English or in Spanish, because she's related to South America, if I understood properly, and she started her career by singing in English. So probably with interviews in other languages would be easier. However, I found some interviews in Italian, but they are quite normal. Like, she says, "Oh, my parents didn't really help me, but like, I'm thankful to them now, because it was their way to help me build myself." I guess because the parents are into the music industry at this point. It's not that uncommon for a child or people involved into music industry, to become a singer, an artist, and whatnot, a musician, generally speaking. So yeah, the thing is that I like the song is beautiful, nothing to say, and like since I don't really have nothing to say, and a lot of the song interpretation depends on the person listening, I can't really add much. I can ask you all to tell me in the comments what what you felt while listening to the song, or what like what do you think of the song, because I know that Gasso appreciated. I know that this is the favorite song of Alex from Sanremo Music Festival 2025. It is appreciated, like it is doing good given the situation, because the singer, like the artist, is very niche in Italy, I would say. So it's not like Giorgia, Olli, Achille Lauro. Like she's still young and at the beginning, so it makes sense. And so besides that, like I have nothing much to say besides the fact that the song is good. Yeah, she did a good performance. She had her guitar. The video matches well the vibe of the song. So to be honest, like nothing to say, but not in a bad way. Nothing to say because like yeah, everything is good. Everything is as it where it should be, despite the song in the final ranking. Yeah, like today we chill basically. But because like in the end, there aren't many song left. Okay. And due to this, like there is because usually the drama involves either songs placing high in the rankings, okay, or I don't know, like placing low, but because they memed like already this Sanremo was very chill. Nothing to say about it. And despite that, yeah, it was chill. That's it. Pretty much. That was it, pretty much. We had some memes, some drama, but it was very contained if compared to others. And usually there is a bit of drama among like which song had to rank higher. But of course, you don't have much this kind of drama with more niche artists like Joan Thiele. I'm all like you can find the spelling in the videos I put in the resources, so it is just me. Also because between the pain and the fever, it's like, and the lidocaine, I'm not in my prime, let's say. So that said, it was a short live, but I don't have nothing more to add. I hope you enjoyed the live. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what do you think about this song. That said, grazie everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the ASMR experience, and arrivederci.